and the fallow fields south of Atlanta have hardened. Not that this is a bad thing. The tough clay is also porous and dry, for the moment at least. Hence the decision to pitch camp here. Winter's coming, and this contingent has been regrouping here for over a week, settling in, recharging, rethinking their futures. If indeed they have any futures. You kinda just let the head fall on it. The burly African-American demonstrates next to her, making swinging motions with his enormous arm. His huge hands look as though they could cover her entire head. Use gravity and the weight of the hammer. It takes a great deal of conscious effort for Lilly not to stare at the black man's arm as it pistons up and down. Even crouching in his sleeveless denim shirt and ratty down vest, Josh Lee Hamilton cuts an imposing figure. Built like an NFL tackle, with monolithic shoulders, enormous tree-trunk thighs, and thick neck, he still manages to carry himself quite gently. His sad, long-lashed eyes and his deferential brow, which perpetually creases the front of his balding pate, give off an air of unexpected tenderness. No big deal, see? He shows her again, and his tattooed bicep, as big as a pig's belly, jumps as he wields the imaginary hammer. See what I'm saying? Lilly discreetly looks away from Josh's rippling arm. She feels a faint frisson of guilt every time she notices his muscles, his tapered back, his broad shoulders. Despite the amount of time they've been spending together in this hell on earth some Georgians are calling the turn, Lilly has scrupulously avoided crossing any intimate boundaries with Josh. Best to keep it platonic. Brother and sister, best buds, nothing more. Best to keep it strictly business, especially in the midst of this plague. But that does not stop Lilly from giving the big man coy little sidelong grins when he calls her girlfriend or baby doll, or making sure he gets a glimpse of the Chinese character tattooed above Lily's tailbone at night when she's settling into her sleeping bag. Is she leading him on? Is she manipulating him for protection? The rhetorical questions remain unanswered. For Lilly, the embers of fear constantly smoldering in her gut have cauterized all ethical issues and nuances of social behavior. In fact, fear has dogged her off and on for most her life. She developed an ulcer in high school and had to be on anti-anxiety meds during her aborted tenure at Georgia Tech. But now it simmers constantly inside her. The fear poisons her sleep, clouds her thoughts, presses in on her heart. The fear makes her do things. She seizes the hammer so tightly now it makes the veins twitch in her wrist. "It's not rocket science, for Christ's sake!" she barks, and finally gets control of the hammer and drives a stake into the ground through sheer rage. She grabs another stake. She moves to the opposite corner of the canvas and then wills the metal bit straight through the fabric and into the ground by pounding madly, wildly, missing as many blows as she connects. Sweat breaks out on her neck and brow. She pounds and pounds. She loses herself for a moment. At last she pauses, exhausted, breathing hard, greasy with perspiration. Okay. That's one way to do it, Josh says softly, rising to his feet, a smirk on his chiseled brown face as he regards the half-dozen stakes pinning the canvas to the ground. Lilly says nothing. The zombies, coming undetected through the trees to the north, are now less than 5 minutes away. Not a single one of Lilly Caul's fellow survivors, numbering close to 100 now, all grudgingly banding together to try and build a ragtag community here, realizes the one fatal drawback to this vacant rural lot in which they've erected their makeshift tents. At first glance, the property appears to be ideal. Situated in a verdant area 50 miles south of the city, an area that normally produces millions of bushels of peaches, pears, and apples annually, the clearing sits in a natural basin of seared crabgrass and hard-packed earth. Abandoned by its one-time landlords, probably the owners of the neighboring orchards, the lot is the size of a soccer field. Gravel drives flank the property. Along the